AITA for telling my daughter's adoptive mother to back off? Okay, so I had my daughter at a point in my life where I wasn't equipped to handle a kid. Unfortunately, I had to give her up when she was 3. And I have been NC with her ever since. To make a long story short, recently we came back into contact and I couldn't be happier. The one problem is her adoptive mother, Tara. Ever since I met her, she's been making comments, calling my daughter hers. And she just can't accept that she's not my daughter's only mother anymore. She tells people that she's my daughter's mother, and sends me dirty looks when I correct her. I've been trying to spend as much time with my daughter as possible lately, and I asked if I could join her on her weekly dinner. But I didn't know that these dinners were between her and Tara. So when I showed up, I was surprised to see Tara there. I was hurt and asked my daughter why she didn't want to spend time with me alone. Tara glared at me and told me that these dinners happen weekly and I could just set up another meet up with my daughter alone. I snapped at her to back off, and that I just wanted time with my daughter. My daughter got up and told me to leave, and never say that to Tara again. Now my daughter's been giving me the cold shoulder and I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like Tara should back off and let me spend time with my daughter. But she won't stop butting into everything we do together. Am I really the here? YTA. And she just can't accept that she's not my daughter's only mother anymore. You have it backwards. You don't seem to be able to accept the fact that you aren't not the girl's mother and haven't been since she was 3 years old. You can't claim right of motherhood just because you want to now. The way you have gone about this has created a lot of unnecessary problems for your bio daughter. You are actively disrespecting the only real mother the child you gave birth to has ever known. Want to waltz your way into their lives. Yes, their lives. And dictate how things should be. How old is the daughter? Does she have a father in her life too? Did you talk to a therapist before you started this bizarre intrusion into their lives? If not, you should. YTA, you totally overstepped. T is her mother. She is not butting into what you do. You are butting into what she does with her daughter. Continuing down this path will result in your daughter going no contact again. YTA. You are not her mother. She was adopted and you haven't been there for her. As an adoptee myself, this post really irritates me. If you were my birth mother, I would go and see on you and have zero regrets. If you actually want a relationship with this child, you need to come to terms with the fact that she has a mother and it isn't you. You need to develop a different type of relationship. See a counselor for help. YTA. Tara is her mother. She is upset because you disrespected her mother. You haven't seen her for 13 years and somehow feel entitled to ask her mother to butt out. You're a stranger to her. Of course her mother isn't comfortable with unsupervised visits. Wake up. YTA, here's the big elephant in the room that you are willfully ignoring. Tara adopted your daughter. Tara is legally your daughter's mother. Not only that, but this is the only mother your daughter has known until you came back into her life. Our earliest long-term memories start around 3 years old, so she likely does not remember any of that time with you. Thus, you can't just kick Tara to the curb just because you are there now. It also sounds like you've hurt your daughter's feelings by telling the person she considers her mother to back off. If you want a relationship with your daughter, you need to accept that Tara will always be a central part of your daughter's life. If you can't accept that, know that your daughter may very well decide to not have contact with you. And in terms of Tara, this is her daughter, the daughter that she has cared for since she was little. Of course Tara considers herself to her mother. Your daughter is her adopted child. She wants to protect her daughter and she has every right to be concerned given your actions. Stop trying to push Tara away. Work with her, not against her, if you want this to work out. Edited to add second paragraph about T and her feelings. YTA. Tara is her mother. The only one she knows. Besides, you asked to join an established weekly dinner. Did you think your daughter was eating alone every week? Why would she be alone? If your bio child is underage, Tara needs to tell you to take several steps back, not the other way around. You weren't mature enough to handle a child then. And as it seems you're not mature enough to recognize that time moves on and your place has changed, you need to remove yourself by several spaces. YTA. You gave birth to her. That does not make you her mother. She has a mother, and be happy that her mother lets you see her at all, because she is still a minor. At 16, you have been NC for 13 years. Stop making this about you and start being appreciative that the child that you couldn't parent at 3 has a mom who loves her and takes care of her and lets you see her. Seriously, grow up. YTA. Are you telling people Tara is not your biological daughter's mother? She is her mother. Also, why on earth did you hijack their weekly mother-daughter dinners and then get annoyed that her mom was there? Lol? She's totally right. Start your own traditions with her. You are the one butting in. I understand that this is a sensitive situation and that everyone's feelings are complicated and charged. But you should be so grateful that your daughter was raised by someone who loves and cherishes her, and that she's open to having you in her life now. But you are an addition to her life, not a replacement for her mother. Knock it off, or you're going to lose the privilege of having this young woman in your life. YTA. Her mother raised her. Her mother is nervous about you bring there because you're correcting her when you say that you're the mother. You're not. You're the birth parent. You have no right to pressure the young woman or guilt her into wanting to spend time with you alone. Her mother is not going to back off because she's the young woman's mother. She's butting in because she's the young woman's mother. Mothers protect their children. It may not have been fair that you couldn't keep your child, but you can't fix things by trying to remove the mother who had raised her. There is no way to fix this other than to respect the young woman's wishes, and to give her mother and the respect she deserves. She has a right to have a stable relationship with the mother who raised her. I'm sorry that this is happening, but the young woman is innocent, and you're trying to make her choose as you try to push her mother out of the picture. T is the young woman's only mother. You may develop a relationship with the young woman, but this isn't about you. Respect them both and respect their relationship. YTA. Tara is your daughter's mother. What on earth would possess you to correct anyone on that? Except that your relationship with your daughter is not, and likely never will be, on that level. Show some respect to her mother, because you are destroying a relationship that still needs rebuilding every time you undermine her. YTA. Tara is her mother. You don't get to just waltz into their lives like you haven't been NC this whole time. Like you didn't give her up for adoption, and just disrupt everything. Like, hey, thanks for babysitting all these years, but butt out. You gave up your parental rights. You are essentially a stranger. What right do you have yelling at Tara? And who did you think these weekly dinners involved? Of course her mother is there. And again, yes, Tara is her mother. You are the one who needs to back off. As someone who was adopted, YTA, you haven't been NC with your daughter. You gave up your maternal rights, and based on assumption, it does not seem like it was an open adoption. Therefore, Tara is her mother. Adoption or not, you are simply the biological mother of Tara's child. Tara has every right to feel nervous by you popping into her daughter's life after 13 years. A piece of advice: if your biological child is telling you to take back off on how you're treating her mother, then you are the asshole. There's no question about it. YTA. You don't have a daughter. You gave her up for adoption. You need to listen to your daughter. YTA. Tara is her mother. You coming back into your daughter's life doesn't take away from the fact that Tara raised her, loves her, cares for her, and presumably continues to have a meaningful relationship with her. You should be grateful your daughter has a mother that she has a good relationship with and respect. Whatever your daughter's boundaries are, I highly doubt your daughter is impressed with your territorial antics. Instead of making this about Tara, you need to think about your daughter and how you can build the relationship between the two of you. Listen to your daughter. YTA. You are her bio mom, but you are not her mom. You have up rights to her when she was 3. You didn't raise her. You aren't funding her life. Tara is her mother. It's you who needs to back off. You lost that place in her life when she was 3 until however old she is now. Let your daughter control contact and communication. You're not the main character in this story. You're not even secondary character. I'm sure there's a lot of feelings and guilt rattling in your head that I can't fathom. However, you can't take it out on Tara or your daughter. You made your choice however many years ago. Get therapy to move on and cope. YTA. Tara is her mom. You gave birth to her. 2 different things. You made a choice to give your child up. And although I wholeheartedly believe in your right to make that choice, unfortunately this is the fallout. If you back off and respect their boundaries, you'll have a real opportunity at a second chance to be in your daughter's life. You should be thanking Tara for raising a nice young person when you couldn't. What you're doing now will only push them away and you'll have no relationship at all in the end. YTA. You are correcting T when she tells people she is her mother? Wow. I can't put into words how odd that is. I promise you, that isn't making you look good to anyone you are doing that in front of, and most of all, not to the daughter. You're getting mad because she calls her daughter. Even if you did nothing traumatic to the daughter, being given up at 3 years old is still very traumatic, and guess who was there through the consequences? Her adoptive mother. T was there during her formative years. Now you want to waltz in and regain your position that you gave up. It's nice that you are back in her life and hopefully won't disappoint her again. But you need to know your role in their family. Who the heck did you think a 16-year-old's weekly dinners were with? You knew she wasn't eating alone, so why didn't you ask? Also, I find it odd that she didn't tell and you didn't ask. The way you have described your own behavior, I wouldn't doubt that you did know and wanted to make her mother mad. I'm an adoptee. I came back into contact with my birth family when my half-sister found me a while back. Tara is your daughter's mom. My mom is my mom. Your new presence in her life doesn't invalidate the years of care she put into her daughter. If you want to develop a relationship with your bio daughter, you need to respect her terms. And that means respecting her actual mom. Tara isn't coming between you and your bio daughter. You are. YTA. YTA. You signed away your parental rights when you gave her up. I am assuming that the child is now an adult. If you want a relationship with her, you need to accept the consequences of your actions, however noble they may have been. Asked if I could join her on her weekly dinner, but I didn't know that these dinners were between her and Tara. So when I showed up, I was surprised to see Tara there. Did you think she was having a weekly dinner alone? She tells people that she's my daughter's mother, and sends me dirty looks when I correct her. Stop correcting her. She is not wrong. I snapped at her to back off, and that I just wanted time with my daughter. My daughter got up and told me to leave, and never say that to Tara again. Do you want a relationship badly enough to accept that? YTA. You gave your child up and someone else raised her. Yes. T is her mother and you can't just come back into their lives and act like nothing happened. You have to respect the fact that T is her mother and will always be her mother, and that your daughter wanting you back in her life is a privilege that she has the right to deny at any time.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.